Here with head coach Paul Dyck. And Paul, 4-0 win. It had to be pretty pleasing to see a complete effort on the bench through 60 minutes.
Yeah, it was. There were times in the game where we really felt we needed a little more urgency to get that second goal and to close them out. And we felt the game was kind of going in their direction or falling into their game plan a little bit. So it was good to see that second one there at the end of the period.
You control play through parts of the first period, but you're not rewarded, and then you get the power play and Schoonberg gets one going to the net. Just talk about his performance tonight.
Yeah, Scooby's been playing extremely well here lately, and I think he's obviously he's developing here in front of our eyes, and he gets those opportunities. He's that type of player. They go off his legs, and then on the other goal, it was just showed his patience and really his hand-eye and skill set.
In the third period, Mac Graham gets rewarded with one, but I thought he had probably his strongest game, both away from the puck and fighting for loose pucks. He's been named to the tryout team for Team West. Just talk about his performance tonight and what he's brought all season.
Yeah, Mac does all the little things well, and we've mentioned this before. He's smaller in stature, but he wins the majority of his battles regardless of who he's up against, and his wall play is just he's become so consistent and so reliable on the walls, and a guy that goes to the front of the net without fear. So, it's nice to see him get rewarded, and it was a great play by Penner keeping it in, but, Mac showed some nice finish on the goal.
Roman Benger gets rewarded with the shutout tonight. He made some big saves at times and made himself big and controlled rebounds again. It's a broken record to say it over and over, but he has another strong performance. Just talk about it.
Yeah, well, it was nice to see Roman finish this one out. The last couple times he's been in a position to get a shutout, they've scored late, and not necessarily a reflection of him, but at any rate, got a little luckier there tonight at the end. But another solid effort. What can I say? It's 32 saves tonight, and it is a broken record, but I think he's still looking to improve his game, and it's a good position for us to be in at this stage.
The physical play, you got to like the way the defenseman really stepped up and guarded the blue line. Connor Martin with some big hits, Joe Carney, Tyler Anderson, even Hayden Goddard was throwing his weight around. I know toughness is something you wanted to address, but are you starting to see the guys buy in a little bit more and play that physical style?
Yeah, Marty usually leads the hit parade, and again today he punished a few of their guys out there, and we feed off of that, no question. I think he's definitely the leader in that regard, and but I think we're starting to see a bit more of a collective effort, so we're not a big bruising team by any means, but I think as a group we can up it a little and just play a little tougher as a group.
You got the Nipawa Natives tomorrow, another team that if you look at the standings you should beat. But how's it to keep the guys' energy level up and keep their focus and not play where the team is in the standings, but be ready for another hard-fought game tomorrow night?
Well, that's always a challenge. I think human nature is to look at that and say, oh, we have so many wins and they have so many wins, and last time we played them, this was the score. But tomorrow's definitely a new night, and they're going to come in here and compete. We know that. They're a physical team, and we need to be mentally sharper than we were today. I thought our effort was okay, but at times we just weren't sharp. And as puck tape to tape is the expectation coming out of our zone, and we missed a lot of simple passes. And on the power play, I didn't think our play selection was great either. So I think we just need to be a little sharper tomorrow, have the same energy level, but like once I said, we need to be prepared.
You would make a trade today. You acquire Robert Bream from the Waywayseecappo Wolverines, not in the lineup tonight, but just talk about the trade and what Bream, as a 20-year-old forward with some finish, he almost averages a point per game, and he's got some sandpaper. What does he bring night in, night out?
Yeah, no question. That's what we were looking for. We were looking to add some grit and toughness to our lineup, and that's what Robert does. And I know last year he was tough for a D to play against, and he has some finish. He had a hat trick against us last year here in Steinbach. I think he played us 5 times and had 4 goals, so he has that ability as well. But he's inexperienced. He's a thick kid that is going to address some of our toughness issues.
Deadline coming up on Monday. You start with 45 cards. It's getting trimmed down. Can you just explain for the average hockey fan? It's not the trade deadline, which is January 10th, I believe. Just talk to it about how it details coming up on Monday.
Sure. Well, at the start of every season, we start with 45 cards. That means we have the ability to have 45 players in our lineup at any given time. On December 1st, there's a cut down to 25. So if we have 23 on our roster at that point, it allows us to make 2 transactions prior to the roster freeze on January 10th, where we go down to 23 for the remainder of the season. So, teams play it differently. We always like to keep a couple of spots open, just if there is an opportunity to help us make a playoff push.
And right now, where does your roster sit compared to the maximum 20-year-olds allowed and free cards you will have available? You still can make some moves heading into the December 1st, but where is the team at right now in that way?
We're at 920s, which is the max, and then we're at 23 on our roster. So, not sure what the next couple of days will bring. The last couple of days can be unpredictable at times, but right now we'd have 2 open cards for the stretch drive.
That was definitely